Rolling up to the second final. Grid position set by fastest lap in the competition so far. No surprise to see Brenton Miller on pole position, but quite a surprise to see Trevor Randall on the front row with him. He only finished in 16th in the first final. Phil Ingram on the second row with Dave Lewis. Another surprise, but Dave's got plenty of speed. So the chance is here for Brenton Miller. The championship rivals, Ingram on 3, Powell on 7, Yeoman's on grid 9, championship leader Jenkins on 20th. Red light, green light, go. Miller's got the jump. Miller to turn 1. Ingram inside of Randall. Ingram's got second from Randall, Lewis and Teal. Wesley Godwin. Turn 2. Randall cuts across Lewis. Godwin's trying to put a move on and Teal for 5th place. Teal's trying to run round the outside of Lewis for the inside of turn 4. He's eased his way through. Teal to 4th. Charge through turn 5, strings the feel out. Then it's a big break for the hairpin at 6. Usually trouble. Contact between McCullough and Loughcombe again. O'Connor's messed up by Darren Teal and Martin Bond. Everyone's still running, and it's Miller from Ingram, Randall and Teal. Godwin puts a move on Lewis. Chris Powell goes by and Ben Yeomans is coming around the outside. Yeomans and Lewis fight over 7th. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? And Lewis has fallen for Ben's trap and clips Chris Powell. Yeomans goes through and he's bringing with him Stu Simons and Sam Garford. Powell upset, determined to take 6th place back. Gets it inside of turn 3. Well, the front 5 have got away and the rest of the field is queued up behind Chris Powell. Down at the hairpin. Garford punts Stu Simons and then loses out to Dan Butler. Butler to 9th. Hill looking for 10th. Garford goes to cover to the inside. Kieran McCullough sees his chance. Inside of Tim Hill for 11th. But gets run wide and there's more contact. Hill on Lewis this time. Well, it's been a frantic opening 2 laps, of course. It was always going to be. McCullough inside of Clackett. That's for 11th. Lewis started 4th, he's now 13th. Miller, Ingram, Anthony Teal's overtaking Trevor Randall somewhere. Wesley Godwin, Powell, Yeoman, Simons, Butler, Garford. That's your top 10. Let's see if we can see where Anthony Teal picked up 3rd place from Trevor Randall. It's down at the final corner. He had a dive up the inside at the end of lap 2. We move on to lap 4. Miller leads by about a second from Phil Ingram. Anthony Teal, Randall under pressure from Wesley Godwin. No surprise, he's picked up the tone, is closing him down. Sam Garford's had a dig at Dan Butler to try and recover 9th. Hasn't got it done. Ahead of them, Stu Simons is taking on Ben Yeomans over 7th. He's got a run off turn 3, dives through at turn 4. Look at Butler and Garford. Garford's thrown it up the inside of the hairpin. That's for 9th place. Front 5 pulling clear of Chris Powell. Kieran McCullough putting a move on Dan Butler into turn 1. Can he get it done? Side by side, Butler's got the momentum. Behind, Lee Clackett's fending off Dave Lewis over 13th. Lewis round the outside. It's ballsy and he's done it. And Mark Loughcombe's inside for 14th. Out of turn 3, look out for Tim Hill and Luigi Mazza. Bit of contact. That's sure to get Tim Hill's blood up. And the old warhorse is sure to be on the warpath. Down to the hairpin. Here comes the Silver Beast, and he's through to 15th. Down to turn 1, here comes Wesley Godwin in 5th, backing it in and takes 4th place from Trevor Randall. That's been coming for a couple of laps. Mazza puts a move on Clackett as he slides backwards. Battle for 10th. Kieran McCullough under pressure again from Dan Butler. This has been going on for at least a couple of laps. Butler takes it back. He's back to 10th. Jamie Jenkins behind him in 12th. Trying to minimise the damage to his championship. Here comes McCullough. He's got a run on Butler to the hairpin. He's through at turn 6. Great racing, but they're losing ground to Sam Garford. Jamie Jenkins sees his chance to pick off Dan Butler at the hairpin. He goes 11th. Sam Garford's got a run on Ben Yeomans in the battle for 8th, inside at turn 1. Sam missed the Rye House rounds, but if he maintains his finishing record, he never scores less than 120 points per round. He'll lead the championship when we start to drop scores. He's a major player, a dark horse perhaps, but definitely an outside bet to win this championship. There are perhaps 10 drivers with a serious chance of winning it. We're looking at 3 of them. Kieran McCullough, Jamie Jenkins, Dan Butler. He's 2 more. Double lid winner, Chris Powell, Winter Series lightweight champion as well. Stu Simons, a winner at Bayford. Powell forced on the defensive. He was defensive at the end of the first final. It didn't work then. I suspect it won't work now with half this final still to go. And so it goes. Simons inside at turn 4. That's for 6th place. Back to the battle for 10th. Contact Lewis on McCullough. Only messes himself up. Mark Lowcombe's gone through to 13th. Allwood O'Connor Clackett. Disappointing. Racing for about 20th place. Clackett's gone completely off the boil. Miller, Ingram and Teal, Wesley Godwin pulling away from Randall. Big gap for Simons to close down if he wants to catch Randall over 5th place. Kieran McCullough's got a run on Dan Butler down to the hairpin. He's through to 11th. Chris Bell's trying to repeat the trick on Andy Cowell and gets it done for 18th. Dan Butler moves to the inside, covering on a move from Mark Lowcombe, hanging on to 12th. Tim Hill put a move on Dave Lewis to go through to 14th, and Mazza's going to follow him through into turn 2. Just to complete the point about the 10 drivers who I believe are contending for the championship outright, here's a few of them. Brenton Miller, Phil Ingram, 1st and 2nd. Behind them, Anthony Teal, down in the points at the moment, but he's another one who missed a couple of rounds. When those point scores are dropped, he'll be back in the mix, in the top 5 or 6. Wesley Godwin is another one on speed who'd be in there, but he's missed too many rounds already. And you could add Ben Yeomans to that, of course. Well, it looks fairly relaxed at the front, but let me tell you, these guys are on the limit and pushing hard. Brenton Miller and Phil Ingram have been trading fastest laps. There's only 0.3 of a second between them. Garford putting a move there on Chris Powell. Garford through to 7th. Chris having a think about going up the inside at the hairpin in the new extension part of the circuit. Backs out a bit. Miller leads another lap, being kept very honest by Phil Ingram, and Godwin is closing in on Anthony Teal for that 3rd place and the last of the trophies. Randall has been dropped. Will he fall back into Stu Simons in the remaining 4 laps? Ingram's just a cart length too far away from a shot at the lead. Oh, he's closed in there. But Miller's pulled out a cart length out of the chicane. Teal on the defensive now, sensing Godwin. Here he comes. Side by side with Ant Teal. To the last corner. Teal takes back third place, but he's compromised on the exit. He must know that Godwin's going to look to the inside at turn 1, and he does. He moves over. He's got it covered. One move, that's all that's allowed. So he's compromised down to turn 2. He'll have to defend here as well. And he does. We saw at Buckmore Park when he won from Rd.5 that he knows how to defend a lead. Well, he's hanging on for third here. He's got 2.5 laps left. That's a lot of defending. I think Godwin's got too much speed. Though Anthony's pulled out a cart length. Just a brief respite, I'm sure. Back to the front, and Brenton Miller is down to about half a cart length ahead of Phil Ingram. Penultimate lap now. Phil Ingram really needs to open all the taps if he's going to win this one. Brenton's been quick. Well, Phil's closed in again. He's on the bumper. Teal defending from Godwin again. Ingram to the inside. Oh, he had to think about it. But it would have been a bit of a lunge. He might be thinking championship. Today might not be his day. Miller pulls out a cart length as he does out the chicane. That's useful when the chicane's only 2 corners from the finish. Oh, well, Miller stretched it. I think Ingram's made a mistake. Last lap board. Miller's pulled out about 3 or 4 cart lengths. Teal fighting manfully here to hold off Godwin, but I think Godwin's going to run this turn. Godwin's going to have to force it through. Turn 2, he's through. Through to third, well, that's been coming. Once again, Anthony might be thinking championship. Randall is just holding off Stu Simons, who is closing in, but I don't think he's going to close in quick enough. Godwin's got one more corner really to hold on, and he's got it covered. There's no way Anthony Teal's going to pass Wesley Godwin. Final corner for Brenton Miller. It's been a purple patch of a day. The Aussie is going to take a double and the lead of the championship. He's back with a bang.